Okay, FlipTrackr, day 4. Today we are working on getting everybody's login up and running. Not gonna lie, day 3, I told you guys that I would be doing at least one or two of the accounts at the end of the day. That did not happen. I edited the video and it ended up being like 12 o'clock. I was done for it. As I said before, I was moving, during the day before I got started with the meeting, with the call. So trying to edit, I don't even know why I started editing the day 3 video right after I did it. I was like, I'm gonna edit it real quick, get it out the way. Uh, Started getting into editing and doing all that, and all of a sudden I look up, it's 12 o'clock. I got to get up for work in the morning at 7 o'clock. So of course I was dog tired today, which will be day 4. But we back. Work never stops. Grind never stops. We're getting everybody the logins. Like I said before, Friday is the goal. Good news today. We have a very, very important demo call tomorrow with a very influential person in the sneaker culture of Atlanta. She's awesome. She's dope. She's been a part of the First Kicks community since the first event. She was a part of the first event. Not gonna say her name just yet, but just know she's a very very important person in the sneaker community. She's doing big things in the sneaker community in Atlanta, and we are going to have a call with her tomorrow. So day 5 is going to be a breakdown of that call as well. Hoping that we can do a partnership or do something where we collaborate together with FlipTrackr and what she's got going right now, which is amazing. So I had that call today. At this point in time, FlipTrackr is taking on a life of its own. It's doing a lot of doing a lot of things, getting bigger by the day. Every day we get more exciting news, and every day I get more focused on making sure the product is as at the best that it can be. So trying to carve out some time to make sure that, like I said, I want to get everybody their login so we can get to that point. They don't have the logins, then they can't obviously work on the um, app. They can actually do what they need to do to be on the app. So most important goal is to get all the testers on the app, let them, go ahead and add their inventory, go through their day to day with the app, and then, move forward from there with what find as maybe bugs, maybe things that aren't working correctly, things that we can add to make sure things are working correctly. So all those different things we're working on and we're working towards. But today is day 4, like I said, and we will be getting everybody's login together. So I am going to do another video with basically the screen, like I did day 2, showing you guys me doing at least one of the logins while I'm working. And we're gonna get this done. We'll get this done together, y'all. We're gonna get this done. We're doing a lot of work right now, and it's moving. It's doing a lot of movement is going on. So really excited. Wanted to tap in before I go to the next screen and get started with these logins. But I want to tap in with y'all and make sure y'all understand where we are in this journey. I'm going to move downstairs and get in a comfortable position before I get started with this, because, like I said, I'm still a little tired. Not even gonna lie, but this work got to get done. And I also might be lying to myself. I might be lying to myself. I think I'm just gonna sit right here. Might as well sit right here and get some work done before I move on to downstairs. So who knows? Who knows where we're going? All we know is work is getting done, and a lot of good things are happening for the Flip. A lot of good things are happening for the FlipTrackr app. Now, if you are interested in being a tester, please DM me at the FlipTrackr IG. So that's FlipTrackr with an R, no E, FlipTrackr. DM me if you're interested in being a tester. We're looking for our next round of testers after we get this first round going. We're looking for our next round of testers. So if you're interested in doing that, please DM me. I would love to do a demo call with you. We're right now we're looking at Mondays as our demo call days, where we add testers and users to the app. And then if you're interested in joining the waitlist, www.fliptrackr.app. It should be in the description down here. Go ahead and check. Also, like, share, subscribe to Fresh Kicks Market 01. This is the official YouTube channel. FlipTrackr is a product of Fresh Kicks Market, so it is under the Fresh Kicks Market YouTube. And we want to share this with as many people. We want this to be a movement. This is a movement for the sneaker culture, for the sneaker world. So share this with as many people as you know. Let everybody know that you're going to be the next person using FlipTrackr. And let's make sure we get this out to as many people. Our goal, like the video says, is 100K. It's a 100K challenge. We want to get to 100K. And the way we do that is by sharing this with as many people as possible. And the reason why I'm doing this challenge is to show people that anybody can do this. Anybody can make this happen. I mean, this is something, like I said, went from a vision to reality in just under 3 weeks, under a month at this point. We're about to approach a month. So this is something that, anybody can do. I'm not doing this just to make 100K. I'm doing this to show that it is possible. And when I say it's possible, it is most definitely possible for you to create a product, not being a coder, not being a traditional coder, and having a vision and using the tools that are available, albeit it's AI or any different number of tools that there are today, just in the marketplace on the internet. There's tons of different tools that you can use. So I'm doing this 100K challenge to prove that if you have a vision, you can make it happen. You can get it started. You can get the ball rolling, show people, get people excited, and then you'll start to see how your world gravitates and how many people gravitate towards you and your idea because you've shown them something that they can get on board with. And that's exactly what's happening with FlipTrackr right now. We're seeing a lot of gravitational pull, a lot of different people coming into the fold, loving the product, loving where we're started at, and wanting to be here for the ground level because they know that this is going to be revolutionary. This is going to be different. And that is my goal for the 100K challenge. Once we hit that 100K, then it's possible. It's possible. I'm gonna be talking about the road that it took to get here, everything that it took to get here, because I am an entrepreneur. I've been a part of multiple different businesses, different business ventures. I've been successful at different business ventures, and I have been unsuccessful at different business ventures. So and this is a marathon, as Nipsey Hussle said. This is a marathon. I know it's cliche, I know it's a buzzword, but as you move along your path of being an entrepreneur, you really start to understand what it means when he says it's a marathon, or what he means by that metaphor. Is you're going to continue to run regardless of what's happening. If somebody's running a marathon sprint, they're not going to stop because it's raining. They're not going to stop because there's a hill in front of them. They're not going to stop if they, fall down, scrape their knee. It's a marathon. I'm going to keep running. So my entrepreneurial journey is the definition of that. And I'm very excited, like I said, to bring a new product to the market and be able to share this experience with you through YouTube. So say all that to say, share this with somebody, even if they're not a sneakerhead, if they're just an entrepreneur and they're looking for inspiration, share this with anybody that you can. We want as many people to know about this challenge and get to 100K. That is the goal. So, like I said, this is day 4, working on people's logins. Let's go to the next screen and show some live work getting done. Let's do it.
All right, not gonna lie to y'all, it is the NBA playoffs right now. So LeBron is on, so we're gonna pause this every now and then. We're gonna pause this every now and then. But let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna go ahead and get started by pressing resume. We're gonna get our chat back up and running. I have currently, so where we started at with this process of getting the logins together, I had all the testers do an intake form. So had all of them do an intake form, and I had all of them do an intake form, choose their username and all that stuff. But when I was completing the when I was completing the site and ready for deployment, it gave me the option to do a register. And then they explained to me that they would be able to have their own Airtable base. So in Airtable, there's a thing called a base where that is the table that will hold all the information. So if you remember when we did the add your sneaker option, where it broke down type of sneaker, model name, size, what it was worn, the price, and all that stuff. That is housed in an Airtable base. So what it explained to me was that once they register and create their own username and password, that they would also create a new Airtable base for that username and password. But like I said, that's not happening. So today I'm going to upload it manually, and we're going to put in exact usernames and create new bases manually so we can just get the testing up and running. We don't want to waste too much time on trying to make sure the register button works right now when we're not going to release it to the public. We only want our testers to be testing the app right now so we can make sure we get all those other bugs fixed. I feel like the register button and all that, that's another bug for another day. We can squash that bug later. Today we are going to that's my dad joke. Today we're going to just be working on getting the testers their logins so they can go ahead and get started. So as you can tell, it starts off, once you resume, it'll say everything. It'll give you like a welcome kind of deal. It says, I can see that you've been working on fixing the market overview display format in FlipTrackr. The last update seems successful. The AI generated content is now properly showing three clean paragraphs, showing us 3 clean paragraphs without numerical lists. So that was something, like I said in the last video, that kept messing up, was the format in which they were showing the generated information just looked wonky. It looked weird. And I was like, I kept going back and forth with it, like, hey, I don't like it this way, keep changing it. So we went through that whole period, and that's why it took me till 2 a.m. that night to get that done. So now it's finally saying, hey, we got it right. You see, we got it right. And I'm like, yeah, you finally got it right. So it says, now you're ready to deploy the application. Simply click deploy button right in the top right corner. But we've already deployed it, so it'll be redeployed. So as you can see in the top right, it says redeploy. So we've already deployed it. So I'm going to start by telling it what my problem is, and then we're going to go ahead and click resume so it can get to working on the new problem, which is getting everybody's Airtable and information in correctly. So let's go ahead and get started with that. All right, so I have my prompt in here. So basically I said, I'm having a problem with the register page. When a user registers, it is not creating a new Airtable base link to that username and password. It's showing the same base for each user. I want to manually create each user's account so that we can start testing the app. We will worry about the register page at a later date. So let's see what it says. All right, so it says, I understand the issue. You're right. Currently, the application isn't creating separate Airtable base for each user. Instead, is using the same Airtable base specific by Airtable base ID environment variable for all users and relying on the user ID field to filter records. Let's modify the registration process to accommodate your need for manual user account creation. I'm not sure that's what I wanted. I'm hoping that's not what it's going to do. Maybe I should have been a little bit more clear. Disable the registration route since you want to manually create user accounts. Well, I mean, that works too. I mean, we can always add it back, before our actual launch. To allow you to create user accounts with custom usernames, which will be useful for testing and deploying the app. This is how easy it is. I'm not gonna lie, it's how easy it is. But I will say that the most important thing when you're doing this is to have a clear mind and know the problems that you want to work through. If you're just sitting here and you're kind of just doing anything, you can get lost in the sauce and just be, creating stuff that does not need to be created at the current moment. So I have a clear path of what I need to get done tonight, and that's the only thing I'm focused on. Because you really can just get lost and just start creating stuff, or it'll give you options and you're like, yeah, let's add that. Let's let's see what's going on. As you can tell, it does think, and it does take a little bit of time to get stuff done. So you can go on wasting a couple of minutes, or 30 to 40 minutes just doing whatever. So little nugget there, if you don't have that much time to do it. Okay, it took a little while for it to get to this point, but we are here. At the bottom, you see it says enable creation of user accounts with dedicated Airtables per user. So it finished it. I'm gonna give you a preview of where it's at now. So I'm gonna tell it all the usernames that I wanted to create right now, and then I'm going to let it create those Airtables and bases for those usernames and passwords. But as you can tell, it disabled the self-registration for now, which is perfect. That's exactly what we wanted it to do. Now we have to make sure that it's creating a new account and new Airtable base for each dedicated user. So that is the next step. So, and as you can tell, the bubble is moving around because I want you guys to get a clear look at the screen. So it's not, in the way, but yeah, we're on track right now. So we're moving on to the next step, which is putting in a login information. So I'm going to start with the first username, which is the test account that I'm going to create, and then we're going to go from there. Okay, took a little while, but we're here. So it said it had to hard code the test user that should allow you to log in. So we got our login information. I'm going to see if it works. It said it had some problems with the API with Airtable, so I don't know what exactly the problems were, but those problems were holding it up. So it did a whole bunch of different stuff in between using different methods. One I saw that was get user and mem storage. Those are two things that I saw that it used. So let's see if it works. Let's test it out. All right, so we got invalid user. Okay. Let's try it one more time. Maybe I input it incorrectly. All right, invalid user. Let's go ahead and take our snapshot and see exactly what's going on. All right, so we got it to work. Finally, we got our password. We're inside of the app. It's showing one sneaker. But the moment of truth is when I create the next account to see if it's showing the same exact sneaker inside the account. I mean, it didn't create the new Airtable. So let's go and move to that next step. Let's put the second account in and see what's going on. All right, we got our second account in there. Let's take a look. Big Mike RT@gmail.com. Tester. Okay, let's see. All right, we got our second. One. We still got the same inventory base, so that's a problem. But we do have our next account in there, so that's good. So let's see if we can change the base. The base is what we need. We need a fresh Airtable base for each user, and that's not what it's doing right now. So on to the next problem. We got two accounts in there though, so that's good, but we got to get a separate base. I don't know what's going on with that, so let's figure that out. All right, so where we are now, it gave me an idea to create separate bases in Airtable, and it's going to map it to the correct airbase using the username. So I created the separate bases. Now I'm going to see if it can map the separate bases to each username so we can move forward and get the account set up. If it can do that, then we're a go for tonight. We've done our job. Tomorrow we'll be able to get the accounts out to each of the testers, and they can go ahead and get started because I manually created bases for each one of them. Now, moving forward, will that be sustainable? Depending on how many new users we get, it depends. We will have to see whether we'll do that method or whether we'll do the register method. If this works, this will be a lot easier, I think, than actually doing the register method, and it's it getting wonky again. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, let's check it out. See if we got some good news. It says that it successfully modified it to the base, the Airtable base that we created. So let's see. Let's go ahead and check it out. All right. And it did it. Separate base created. That might be our new way of testing from now on. All right, so we got that up out the way. Now we're about to go ahead and make all the other accounts for the other testers. But tonight was a success. It is now 12:49. Of course, I was watching the game while I was doing this, so I did pause in between because the game got good. I'm sorry, the game got good. It's the playoffs. Anybody that know me know I'm locked in for the playoffs, but still got to get to this work though. So we did both. We're able to get it done. Now we got our accounts set up. So about to create the accounts for the rest of the users, and we're good to go. I'll see y'all in, I think tomorrow will be day 5. So I'll see y'all in day 5.